Hello, everybody. My name's Colin Horner, and I'm with the BNI organization in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's Sunday afternoon, the 8th of July, and I'm reflecting on some networking meetings that I've held over the last 2 or 3 days. I had quite an exciting live broadcast with Laura Vanaga, a BNI member, and also a Global Power Team member in Latvia. Laura is a public speaking coach of many years standing, and I've been engaging with her in a series of live broadcasts that we have called Chats with Laura. And I've been indulging one of my passions in BNI, namely lifelong learning. So I'm always eager to learn more about how I can do things better and how I can help other people do things better. And I'm particularly focused at the moment on what we call in BNI the weekly presentation, what many people, non-BNI people, would call a feature presentation. Or, not a feature presentation, sorry, that's again a BNIism, what most non-BNI people would call an elevator pitch. In other words, a short, sharp engagement with one or more people where you would engage them to tell them what you do, but what you do in an interesting and informative way that will pique their interest to want to know more. So it's not about all the features that you do in your business, whatever is your business, that's your business. It's really about looking out into your marketplace to your customers, your potential customers, and asking yourself out of all of that set of skills, experience, etc., what value you can offer to a client or a potential client. And I like to use a business model by a man called Alex Osterwalder in Switzerland. He calls it the business model canvas, or his website is strategizer.com. And Alex expresses benefits to customer or benefits to market in terms of two things. Firstly, what gains you give your client, down to, in fact, your client's job. So look at the profession or the job that the person is doing, and how will your services and products give him a gain? In other words, something, a benefit that he didn't have before. And the other side of the equation is to look at what we call relieving a pain. So an obstacle, a problem, if your products and services can help that person overcome that obstacle, that challenge, well, you have provided a significant benefit to them. So Laura and I chat about this on a regular basis, and I tap into Laura's knowledge and expert methods of the way she teaches people to do public speaking, to present themselves well in terms of appearance, but also in terms of the voice, how you use your voice and your body language to persuade. So we've been talking about three aspects of persuasion, which, believe it or not, is not something that's only been around in recently. Laura goes right back to a Greek philosopher from many hundreds of years BC called Aristotle. And Aristotle had three principles of persuasion, or it's known popularly as Aristotle's rhetoric. And the three legs of Aristotle's rhetoric are firstly what he calls pathos. And pathos stands for emotion. So it means engaging with your audience, understanding the emotion that exists in your audience, and also your own emotion and the emotion related to the message or the story you're going to tell. So it could be happy, tragic, comic, serious. And Aristotle said it's very important to engage and understand the pathos, the emotion, and share your emotion and the emotion of your story, your elevator pitch with your audience. The second leg of Aristotle's rhetoric that Laura teaches me very, very well is called the logos. And this is facts. You've got to be factual in a presentation. People have got to know that you understand what you're talking about. You don't bore them with facts, but you show that you know your facts. And you put your facts over in an interesting way and a convincing way. And the third aspect is what we call ethos. And ethos is creating credibility. You know your facts, you can speak with emotion, but do you have credibility? Have you established credibility? Often in business, it's a credibility of leadership. You are capable of leading and encouraging people to find their own way. So you're not dragging them, you're leading them. So we talked extensively about pathos, logos, and ethos on Friday. Laura even touched on another Greek philosopher called Cicero. And she has a very precious book that one of her business colleagues gave her. It's the first edition of Cicero's what's called De Oratore. And Cicero wrote this many, many years BC, really as advice to leaders of how to gain those three aspects, pathos, logos, and ethos, and be able to lead nations, groups of people to achievements. Today I've been talking to another BNI colleague, A.K. Menon in India. He's an expert of many, many years in international executive recruitment. And of course, and he does it, or he used to do it, across the world in a face-to-face way. And of course, that has changed now. So AK is busy pivoting his business to offer that sort of service, but in a totally new environment where individuals are also pivoting themselves and looking at new careers and new professions and new opportunities and having to develop new skills. And again, AK has gone into the broadcasting arena where AK interviews business leaders through the StreamYard platform, and you can go and listen firsthand live to an engaging discussion between industry leaders and thought leaders, and you're able obviously to learn more yourself, but also to pose your questions and get answers from the experts. So AK and I were talking about doing some maybe collaborative work. One of the offerings I have is that I call myself a digital doodler. So I capture strategic, in fact, if I lean over, you can see my title, the digital doodler. I capture interchange and dialogue between individuals and groups with simple visual pictures. And a picture often can communicate more effectively and faster across language, culture, education. And providing one gives some form of context to the picture will be remembered long after the words are forgotten. So it's a way of engaging an audience, giving them visual content which they will assimilate and understand far faster, and they will remember it. So I myself am pivoting myself in that direction to participate in live broadcasts, live webinars, live training events, and be able to summarize in interesting, informative, engaging, and fun ways of helping people get their messages over and understood and remembered. So that's some of my reflections for the week. I'm looking forward to a new week starting tomorrow morning. I've got some significant challenges ahead of me in terms of a change of role in the BNI organization, and far more directed towards education and training and hopefully mentorship of members. Because I have a capability and quite an interesting tool set that enables me to listen. I listen very, very carefully to a discussion, and I'm often able to solve or help my partner, the person I'm engaging with, solve a complex problem and provide a very impactful, very meaningful visual solution. So if you've got any challenges in your present circumstances, you don't know what the future holds for you, maybe you engage with me. If you look at that QR code, you can link to that. It's a social media site where you can find all my details. And I'd be delighted to engage with you, talk to you, understand what your challenges, your issues are, and maybe together we can see a new way of working. So I'm Colin Horner, reflecting on a very busy week and looking forward to the week ahead. Thank you for listening. Colin Horner, the Digital Doodler in Johannesburg, South Africa.